Hey, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by and listening to The Fight Within the Fight. I'm your host, Rockefeller Brown. Go ahead and hit that like or that subscribe button, and we're going to go ahead and get into this today. Hey, remember, the fight within the fight is always about the stories of adversity. Some stories is worse than yours, some are not, but every story is their story, and you never know what you may be able to get out of this. And today, I have a very good friend that's here today. We go back a good bit in the fighting world, the MMA world, the boxing world, bunch of hours in the gym. Josh Millwood. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man?
The Anaconda. That's what it is, the Anaconda.
Yeah, the Anaconda. Got that name from a buddy of mine just because he said I choked too many people out. So,
That's what the Anaconda do to you, choke you out.
Figure we stick with that.
Yes, man. So, man, it's been a while, man. We had a lot of years, in the gym. We both past that now, but still in there trying to put more knowledge to other people, man. That love is just still there, huh?
Oh, absolutely, man. It's never gonna leave me as long as I can keep doing it. To be honest with you, I love the sport. It saved my life, and I'm gonna keep doing it and keep teaching it to kids that want to learn, and even adults, man. I love being a coach. I love being able to show the skill set that my man right here, Coach Brown, taught me. So I just like to pretty much live in your expectations of my skill set. Hey, you're the one that taught me the skills.
That's what we do, man. We learn. We learn, we taught, and we give it to others. You know what I mean? So, man, that's awesome. And we're going to get into that even more. We're going to go deep into more fighting stuff, as we go along, because the fighting is a big story, a big part of his story, you know what I mean? Millwood, where did it all start from? Where were you born? Where you grew up at? How did the story get started?
Well, I was born in Lithia Springs, Georgia, and I lived there till I was about 5 years old. And then I moved to a little town called Sneads, Florida. And Sneads, Florida is nothing but football, baseball, and farm. And I worked in the farm as with a watermelon farm, the peanut farm, and my family was there, so. Uncle was a park ranger, so it was good times as a kid. But my main concern when I was down there is I've always been the athlete of the family. I've always been the one that, I didn't go hunt. I didn't really care to go fish. I was like, let's get a ball and glove. Let's play baseball. Hey, I want to go throw the football. Hey, I want to go shoot basketball. So, I was pretty much raised there until I was 12 years old, and now when I was 12, we moved up here to Perry, Georgia.
Man, I mean the sports there's nothing wrong with that. If he wanted to play the sports instead of hunting, yeah, that's all good. But I'm not knocking anyone that rather go to hunt than sports. Y'all good also, but there's nothing wrong with the sports. So while you're growing up, what all sports did you play while you were growing up?
I played baseball, starting off when I was 3 years old.
Okay.
T-ball. My dad was a coach.
Yes.
Was a coach all the way to Little League, and I played travel ball. When I was down there in Florida, like my family is really big into baseball. Like my cousin was a top 50 ranked college baseball player in the nation, and had a chance to play for San Diego Padres. Trevin Hall turned it down to be a farmer. So
Man, that farmer is doing something down there, and
yeah,
Sneed, the farmer doing something to you down there.
yeah.
Man,
My family loved the farm, and
gotcha.
I played football. And when I played football, that was definitely a something my mama did not want me to do. My dad had to beg and beg because I couldn't play pee wee, couldn't do none of that until when I got to high school. She couldn't stop me, so I played, and that was a thrill, man. I loved it. But my second sport I played, my second love, and everybody was surprised the white kid could play as good as basketball as I could.
Okay.
And so I played basketball all the way up till ninth grade, and when I played,
So the entire time is this down in Florida? Is there?
well, I played basketball. We moved up here when I was in seventh grade,
Okay, okay.
so I played basketball up here in Perry. Definitely got a different scenery when I came up here to play, especially meeting some people that are in eighth grade with their mustaches. I was like, okay, this jerk can already dunk. So I would work my butt off and everything, and I was a shooter. I was a really good 3-point shooter.
Right.
I had a good fadeaway. Just one of the small guys, man. I couldn't drive to the hole. Always got fouled. So
What brought you all up here?
what brought me up here is, it was I got in a fight with a kid that was making fun of my mom. My mom had an accident where she broke every bone in her foot,
Oh man, okay.
and she had 6 surgeries. She couldn't walk. They called her fat, and I don't take disrespect to my mom.
Right.
So me and old buddy got in a fight at PE. I headlocked him and I kneed him in the face after I took a blow to the head, and then we called it quits. And then a week went by, and I guess he just never shrugged it off, and he jumped me with 2 freshmen, 3 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore who was playing football. They put a table behind me, pushed me over, and when they pushed me over, they hog-tied me with tie-line rope. The cop came out there. They covered my mouth. I couldn't yell, couldn't scream. So they thought we were just playing around. Well, the bell rang. Class was going on, man, and whenever that happened, I had to crawl. I had to flip. I had to roll all the way to the lunchroom. They had to cut me open, and I had blood stains around my wrists, my hands, and my neck. And my mom, she didn't want me to go back to school, and the school didn't do anything to the kids or anything like that. So, we moved up here for that, and we moved up here for when my dad got a better job, and it just seemed like the good Lord was taking us somewhere that we should be at rather than stay in a very bad environment.
Man, that's a bad reason to have to leave somewhere, man. I mean, man, you have the audacity to pick on someone's mom, and you get your tail whooped, and now you go back for something and revenge like that. That's as a lot of people say, that's a punk move. You know what I mean? And you take a few friends with you. That's a bad day. That's messed up. It's totally messed up. You know what I mean, man? I hate to hear that you had to do that just to come to Georgia, man. That's coming back to Georgia.
Yeah,
That's jacked up. I said that.
It made me. After that happened, we stayed down there for a couple more months. After that happened,
Right.
I remember buying a weightlifting set. I put in my room. We took my dresser out. We took everything out of I just had a bed, and I had a weightlifting machine in my room. My dad helped me put up.
Right.
I got a bag full of sand, and I was hitting it in the garage. I never wanted to be picked on again like that. Never wanted to be punked.
Right.
So I made it a mission of mine to be able to learn how to defend myself, stick up. Granted, I still didn't know how to throw a punch correctly, but if I landed it, it would hurt. I know for a fact it would hurt. So, um, it made me grow up, but it made me kind of realize a couple of things that put my mindset to where I want to be, where I am at today.
Right.
That was the first step to put my mindset of the hardworking, dedicated athlete I am today.
Right, man. That's a better mentality, getting the body together, than going to get a doggone weapon. That's easy. That's the easy way out. And it's unfortunately that a lot of people do that now. But with that mentality is a whole lot better if they still did that now all the time. You know what I mean? You don't find a lot of people that's thinking like that now. Let me get my body, my skills better, so that I won't have to doggone really take somebody out. Like that. I like that mentality. You know what I mean? Get you in there, man. So did you take the baseball and the football, the basketball, and through high school? Did you put all that together? Use 1, 2? Did you break it down, or all of them? Nah.
Well, let's see. High school was an error for me. That was we moved up here in Perry. All I concentrated on, man, was baseball. Baseball was life, bro. Baseball was like my way out. My grandpa, I always thought I'd be playing for Atlanta Braves. Like he swore up and down I was gonna be his grandson that was gonna be playing for Atlanta Braves. Well,
Braves.
Things go wrong, a different path. I had a coach. Coach called me a dumbass and a wigger, and because I wore Jordans, I had earrings, I had tattoos, man. Like my friends were they weren't the people that are accepted, around pretty much. Like they're not rednecks, they're not like I hang out with anybody and I vibe with anybody, but my close friends were, just black gentlemen, and because we played basketball all the time and became friends because I hustled them on the court a couple of times. So because they didn't think a white boy could play, but he called me that, and I took a step, and hey man, I got red hair, I got a red beard, I got that anger in me, and flicked them off, and I said bye, and that took me down a bad path of working with some gangs and selling drugs and getting on probation, and it really didn't turn out the way I wanted to in high school. But like I said, everything happens for a reason, and everything comes to a conclusion, and the path it took me on after that is I'm very grateful.
Okay. It's just jacked up some of the times that because you don't live the life that they want you to be doing, now there's a problem. You know what I mean? You don't hang out with people that they want you to hang out. You're not doing the sports they want you to be. You're not saying and doing the things that they want you to be doing. This is your life. This is my life. This is each person can have their own life to do what they want to do, and for you to take that against them, make that against them because they're not doing something that you want them to do. That's some crazy stuff. But we are in South Georgia, and it happened like that, and those are still around, and it's unfortunate for that. That's once again, it's jacked up. You know what I mean? But we should be able to live the life that we want to live. You know what I mean? But it sounds like that because that happened, that it led you to the place where we ended up meeting each other, in the gym, the fighting area. So it sounds like some kind of way that ended up getting you in the MMA.
It sure did. It sure did, man. I never missed a workout since I was like 10 years old. Running to biking to living in my house, and then so one day I was on probation, didn't have a car, couldn't drive. Parents grounded me in the side of the house. I'm still a rebel, so I jumped out the window and started. Jumped out the window and said, I'm gonna go to the gym and work out. So I went to the gym. I was on leg press, not doing a lot of weight, just doing a little bit here and there. Be honest with you, I was so stoned out of my mind that I don't even know. I don't even think I had weight on the machine. So, a guy came to me. His name's Eric Phillips. He came to me, said, "Hey man, why don't you join my class?" I said, "Sure, man. What kind of class is it?"
Yeah.
So it's like it's self-defense. It's like karate or something. It's like yeah. Well, it was like self-defense, but it was like MMA, like martial arts. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll try that. So, I went back there. I had to sign the waivers. He made sure I signed those waivers.
Those waivers. That's a trap.
That was a trap, all right. That was a trap. He knew my reputation.
Oh,
he knew I just got out of jail. He knew all that stuff, and he beat the crap out of me. We went back there. He beat the crap out of me, and then I went home. When I went home, didn't think anything of it. I was like, man, I got my ass beat. Like I need to learn some of this stuff. And so next day, I come back up to him and say, hey, I want to learn. He's like, well, Josh, there's some guidelines. I don't want drugs. I don't want alcohol. I want you to come to class. I want you to be. I want you to stay out of trouble. I was like,
nice.
I'm yours, man. Like, yeah, I'll do all that. And so, man, if it wasn't for a man named Eric Phillips, which is now, he was a deputy sheriff. Now he works at the academy teaching young officers how to fight.
Okay, nice.
Probably not teaching them how to fight. Probably beating them up. That's what he did. He likes to let people know the realism of a fight.
Have to, yes.
And he took me out of a bad spot, man, and he took me under his wing, and I went to class every time he had one, and then I started studying on my own, started watching MMA fights, boxing matches. I started doing my own research. Like baseball was no more there. Football was no more there. Basketball was no more there. So my next step was me learning how to fight, me seeing where that takes me. And so he saved my life, and I grant him for everything he did, and it led me here, man. It led me to the success I had in the sport, and it led me to it led me to you, us meeting and us going even further with the sport. So
yeah, man, I just love hearing the stories. I have a few friends in the martial arts that have a story about. Yeah, went to the gym. They like to call them. What he did wasn't that, but they have some people out there that's called gym busters. That they go in trying to bust up the gym, and they get busted up, and then they join the gym. You know what I mean? Sound like Mr. Phillip went the other way to get him in there. You know what I mean? But that's it's a good thing especially his mentality that, yeah, don't need the drugs. I just need you to come in and work. That's the good side of it. To get somebody in, to get their mind and their body right and keep them out of trouble. Things like that. That's what the gym would do for you. So when you got in, you start the training. So tell us about your amateur fighting. Because when I met you, you was deep into amateurs. You had already had like 15, 16 fights when maybe like 18 or something. You had a bunch of fights by the time I came and by the time we met. You was already deep into it. So tell them a little bit about your amateur career, man.
All right. Well, let's see. Eric got a call saying, "Hey, man, we need you to look over SWAT, Savannah, Atlanta, and Macon." When I got that call, he said, "Hey, Josh, I ain't gonna be able to train you no more." And I said, "Man, what am I supposed to do?" Da, da, da. He said, "Hey, there's a gym in Macon. It's called Rush MMA."
Rush.
And so I went there. Granted, I couldn't drive myself. My dad had to drive me there. So, because license suspended. Didn't get my license back for a whole nother year after this.
Oh man, okay.
Went to Macon, went to Rush MMA. Taught a well-known guy around here named Bubby Mitchell, and we taught. Man, I signed up, and when I signed up, I remember going to his classes. I went for a week. I went to just the regular basic classes. I fell in love with it, man. The atmosphere. I met long-term friends there, and it was awesome. And so the next week, I'm on my high horse. I feel like I can go to the pro class after regular class and train, and so I said, you know what, I'm gonna do that. And so when I did that, I met a guy named Brian Goldsby, and Brian Goldsby fought in Bellator. He fought Jeff Curran. Can't remember Curran's nickname, but he was WC champion and really big known out of Chicago. And
okay,
Brian Goldsby did work on him. He won. Amazing. And but we sparred. And when we sparred, he's super light on me. I'm just tapping. He's tapping me. Well, when you come to a gym and you come to pros, we don't try to beat the crap out of you or try to hit you in the head as hard as we can.
Right.
We go for the body.
The good ones anyway.
And so I got hit in the liver so hard, I probably screamed, moaned, laid there for about 30 minutes. My dad thought I'm dying, and then he started laughing after he realized what happened.
Some liver shots, right?
And everybody was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna quit." Everybody thought I was just gonna give it up, but nah. I came back, man. I came back. I came every day. My dad got off work at 5 o'clock. All right, son, you ready to go? And we drove up there. That's why my dad's one of my biggest heroes, one of my biggest supporters, and one of my biggest fans. And
man, every fight you can hear him. Boy, he's screaming. Sometimes in the corner, he was louder than me. Sometimes in the corner, he can. Yes, he totally dedicated for you. Yes, he is. He's good, man.
He took me up there every day, man, and I remember. So my very first amateur fight, I was fighting in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I was getting ready. It was the week of it, and I just turned 18, and so we're getting ready for this fight.
Started young, okay, yes.
I sparred. Just light shadow boxing. My teammate kneed me in the face. When he kneed me in the face, he cut me over the eye. When he cut me over the eye, I told my dad, I ain't backing out of spite. Everybody's like, "Nah, man, you can't." Nah, I ain't backing out of spite. Like I ain't doing it.
One of the
we
worst
went
things.
to the dollar store and got super glue. We super glued over my eye shut, and it just looked like a big plaque of like Neosporin on there or Vaseline on there. So the judge said it was okay. Granted, now I'm fighting in Alabama. This is like in 2008 or 2009. I'm fighting in Alabama, unsanctioned. There ain't no blood work being drawn.
Those days.
So I had the guy I was supposed to fight was from Texas, and he was a Golden Gloves boxer. He didn't show up for weigh-ins. Okay, cool. I ain't fighting him. I weighed in at 135 pounds when I'm supposed to be fighting 145 pounds. I don't know why the heck I did all the running I did and all of the sauna work I did to be 10 pounds lighter. But yeah, I did it. Didn't think anything of it. I just overwork everything. I work my butt off on everything I do. And so he backed out. And they found a guy from Auburn, Alabama, and said, hey, he'll fight you. I said, okay, cool. He didn't show up. So I'm sitting here, man. Wow. I got two guys backed out on me. I'm sitting here waiting. 30 minutes before my fight. Hey, we got you a fight. I said, all right, cool. Well, who is it? He's like, it's a dude named from Redneck MMA. I was like, Redneck MMA. Okay, that makes sense. We're in Alabama. Redneck MMA. Cool.
Right.
Big mohawk. Dude was just got out of the Marines. Big blue mohawk. Dude is 30 pounds bigger than me.
Oh man.
So we fought, and he just looked like a big little oompa oompa. Like he had a big belly and everything. Like he didn't look like he was actually came from the Marines. He just looked like he was completely out of shape. Like.
Right.
So we fought. I remember throwing a leg kick, and I hit him hard, and then I think he got tired of that. He got tired of me kept kicking him. He's like, oh, I got to take him down. So he took me down. He fell on me. When he fell on me, I immediately put him in a triangle, and I won the first in a minute and 21 seconds. I won by a triangle choke.
And that's where the anaconda.
Yeah, that's
where it came from.
Yeah, that's where the name came from.
First one.
So, and then from there, man, it was just it just kept going. Every 2 weeks to 3 weeks, I was fighting. I was completely down to fight. I remember I had one fight. I fought for a guy named Butterbean the boxer. The guy was not the nicest guy you could possibly meet, and he wasn't really. He was all about his sons because sons are fighting. Okay. His sons suck really bad. I fought a guy that is now the Puerto Rican champion of Puerto Rico right now in MMA. His name's Juan Perta, and I remember I couldn't make weight. I couldn't get down to 135. So I cut. This is only like maybe a 2 week notice. I'm 168 pounds, cutting to 135. Anytime my coach, hey, I got a fight for you. All right, cool, let's do it. You know what I mean? I'm never back down from a fight.
Right.
So I decided, okay, cool, I can do this. I can cut this weight. I got this. So I got down to 138.7. Well, I'm about to tell y'all something that I've never told anybody, and I don't think we ever get in trouble about it now, but my coach rigged the scale. He rigged the scale so I would lose 2 pounds. When I lost 2 pounds, and I didn't even make it to weigh-ins now, they had to meet me at a Target parking lot where I had to weigh in my boxer briefs, just, completely looking like a skeleton because I couldn't even make it all the way to the weigh-ins. My cheeks sucked in, everything. Horrible experience. Worst idea ever. So, that was like the big name dude I fought, and it was cool, and yeah, that was a horrible idea. I may never cut weight that much again because I got my ass whooped so fast that it was crazy. I probably got my arm. I think my arm was hurting both of my arms were hurting for like a whole week because he put me in the arm bar so fast, and I wasn't tapping. I didn't tap the first round. We went 2 rounds, but he damn near about dislocated my arm, about broke my arm, about just had a souvenir walking off with my arm. It was, but I don't back down. I don't tap. I don't like tapping. So it took a lot for me to tap. In the second round I did, but I learned right then and there 135 is not my home, and I ain't never going back to it. So I kept fighting at 45, 55, and man, I have a lot of stories to tell when it comes to whenever it comes to cutting weight and the thing the fighters have to do.
They don't have to. That's what they choose to. Some just want to do the crazy things to get there so that they can be that bully in the ring and be the bigger ones. They don't have to. They don't have to. That's what they choose to.
Or the coach and the mentor pushes them to. That's what mostly happened to me.
They don't have to. They don't have to. They choose to.
Yeah.
Now don't get it twisted. Some of those, I wouldn't say mentor. I say that coach got you to do it the wrong way. Yeah. I will say that.
Yeah.
If I'm stepping on any toes is out there, my bad. But if they try to get it like that the wrong way, yeah, they didn't do it right on that time. You know what I mean? But you know, as an athlete, when the coach say do something, then hey, we go and do it. We go and do it, and regardless if it's right or wrong, you know, that's what we're gonna go and do. And if they tell you to jump in that ring with that doggone lion, well, I'm supposed to be fighting this lion. Then I guess I gotta fight this doggone lion. Then and something gonna happen good now. But that's what we go to. That's what we do sometimes. You know, as an athlete, and it happens like that. But yeah, it would say that MMA has gotten a lot better than back in the days during that time because it was rough back there. You know what I mean?
That's when it was first developing.
Yes.
That's when it first started coming out, and that's whenever, you know, you just hear all the stories from all the other pro fighters and what they went through. So
it's a lot
coaches
of wild stories too,
and fighters feel like they have to follow up to it. So
yes,
that's kind of where it led to. But
it's a good but bad. It's both sides of it. It's good to listen to it now, but back then, woo! It was rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, back then you wouldn't want to deal with me. I got locked in a sauna by 3 people because I was banging on the sauna so bad. Hey, y'all gotta let me out. Let me out. I can't breathe. Y'all let me out. You know. And they're just calling me, you're being a baby. You're being a baby. I said, I've been in here for 45 minutes. I ain't been no damn baby. Let me out. You know, you're screaming and everything.
Those days.
And when you cut that much weight, when you cut that much water out of your body, it messes with your brain. It messes with the thinking of it. I remember going home one day and I rode on the wrong side of the road. And I almost had a head-on collision because I couldn't drive. I couldn't see. I was dizzy. I was lightheaded. I couldn't do none of that. I had to pull over, and my buddy's like, you get out of the car. Let me drive. So he had to drive. So, yeah, lessons learned, man. And if and just future fighters out there, future guys that they're in this sport, man, y'all don't cut all that weight. There ain't no point in it. The safety of your body is more important, and the technique you show. Like you don't have to be the bigger person to win.
Right.
One of the things that in jiu-jitsu is in every fighter should notice, we're supposed to use other people's momentum. So if you're a bigger person, I'm a smaller person. I'm good at jiu-jitsu. That I'm using his momentum to my advantage, and that's one thing that you know, kind of got lost whenever you compete. When you compete, you don't think about little things like that. You know what I mean? So,
right.
boxing can be a little different. You know, you don't want to fight nobody that's like 300 pounds because, you know, they hit hard. So, you know.
Well, that's different in boxing. You're not gonna go like that in boxing. You're gonna be somewhere close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, I mean, that training though, you know, like you're talking about you have been trained so hard that you couldn't think about, you know, while you was driving home. But some people don't understand the training and the mindset. You know, you're going through the hard stuff because of, you know, your coach saying it. But on the other side, you're trying to do this because you're trying to get tougher. You're trying to get better. You're trying to get better skills. You're trying to go through everything, the endurance, everything, because you're trying to build that fight, your mind, to get ready to go and hurt somebody.
Absolutely.
You know that everybody don't see that, don't understand that, and I know that we had a lot of hard days in that gym trying to get ready, trying to push, trying to get ready. You know, explain a little bit in your mindset, what was going through your mind when you were starting thinking about, I'm training to go and hurt somebody. I don't want to hurt this dude, but that's what I have to because it's a fight, and that's what I'm training for. So your mindset when you was training to get ready to go out there and hurt this person that you're about to fight, mindset, where was your mind was at?
Well, when you're training for a fight, when you're training to get your body in absolute top shape, you got to put hours in the gym. You got to put the time. You got to put the dedication. You got to put the road work. You got to put the hours in on the mat. You got to put in the cage. And man, you don't have a social life when it comes to fighting. Like if you're really big into fighting and you want to make this your life, you want to make this your lifestyle, some friends you lose. You don't want to party. You don't want to go out drinking. You don't want to go.
Yes.
Man, how many times I turned down a Mexican restaurant because I wanted to go eat Mexican, but I can't. I know I can't eat that because I'm cutting weight. So
right.
But you know, as I'm training and as I'm getting ready for the person I'm fighting, I visualize that person. I visualize what he's doing. I'm like, I'm working harder than him. I'm not like he ain't working as hard as I am. He ain't putting this work in. He ain't waking up at 4:00 in the morning going running. He ain't waking up 4:00 in the morning doing class. He ain't staying up till 2:00 in the morning just to get his work in. I'll sleep when I die. Like I'm putting this work in to win this fight.
Right.
There's only a couple people I absolutely had in my mindset like I want to fuck him up. I want to fuck him up. He's talking all this shit. I want to fuck him up. And
okay.
And that fight never went through because he backed out. And when he backed out, that was the fight. When he backed out, I turned to professional boxing because when he backed out, nobody else would fight me in MMA. So I went to professional boxing. But
okay.
I never really want to hurt somebody so bad. And Robert Hell, if you watch this, you know who you are. You know we had our beef and everything. I'm glad on your success, bro, and I'm glad that where you're at and everything. But you did me dirty by backing out on that fight. You know, we were supposed to be throwing down.
I remember that name. Yes.
Yeah. Me and him trained over and over with you just throwing that overhand right because you weren't even about to hit me with that overhand right. I've been in 32 fights and never been knocked out, and you darn sure was going to be the first one to do it. And it sucks that we never got to do that. And this ain't me talking trash or anything to you right now, man. I'm happy to see how you're doing your sport and how you're doing your success. But at that time, you were the only person I thought like, I'm gonna fuck this dude up. Like I want to hurt him. I want to break his arm. I want to break his jaw. Like that's some of the things I was thinking. So,
nice.
Other than that, man, I treat this as like a sport. Like me going in there fighting This is my livelihood. This is my sport. If I hurt you, I'm sorry. That's my bad.
Right.
I remember back in the days, my amateur days, I shared a pizza, an energy drink, right next to the guy I'm about to fight in 5 minutes. And we just said to each other, hey man, I gotta go warm up to go beat your ass, and I'll see you in the cage. And we just laugh and we cool, man. When you're a fighter, if you have anger towards somebody, if you bring that to the cage, if you bring like the amount of emotions into that cage with you, so many things can go wrong. If you go in there to have fun, you treat it as your job. You treat it as you going out, man. You're stepping out of reality and having fun, and you're treating your body as a gladiator, man. Like these, you got to think when you step in the cage and one-on-one with somebody. This goes back to like the Roman days where gladiators step in the arena or whatever, yes. and fight to death. Like that's the mindset you got to have. You fight to death. But you never want to be that person to kill somebody. You just want to make them tap, knock them out, and then after all said and done, even if we have that anger, even if we have that animosity against each other, let me go buy you a beer. I just whooped your ass. Let me go buy you a beer, man. So
like that.
that's kind of that's like my mindset with everything, man. I just treat it as fun and games. It was that's all it was to me. It was my livelihood, but when I stepped in that cage, I never thought about really wanting to like hurt somebody. But the mindset you have to have is because you signed the waivers, you're the one stepping in that cage. Ain't nobody else. Those doors are locked. Yes. It's do or die. That's the way you got to think. You got to think it's do or die. If I don't come into a fight prepared, if I don't come into a fight with the mindset I got to have, I could get hurt.
Yes.
I could get hurt. I could die.
Totally.
Because I'm not prepared, my whole entire body and myself, mentally, physically, and emotionally, everything, I could die in that ring. I could die in that cage. There's been multiple deaths in boxing and MMA.
A lot of people hurt
over the years, and people be hurt.
Yes.
So you never, like, if you treat it as like all fun and games, and you're just going there to have fun, and you're barely hitting, you're barely kicking, you're barely doing stuff like that, you're gonna get hurt. You got to treat it as a do or die, but at the same time, you go have fun. If you're training as hard as you train, you're not doing it to not have fun. You enjoy doing this. You enjoy being on the mat. You enjoy rolling with your friends. You enjoy hanging out with your friends. You enjoy punching your friend in the face. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing like that. Your friend says something smart. It's like, all right, I'm just going to punch you. Pop, you punch them. You know what I mean? So
I'm going to talk about it over a beer.
So, that's a mindset you got to have, man. It's just, that's a mindset I carried, and I was successful with it. And, so I don't regret anything I ever did. I don't never think about some of the stuff that I should have done and could have done or anything. Because man, I had a time in my life.
It was fun. Always fun.
For 15 years, man, I got to travel around the U.S. I met so many unique people, and I got to train with so many unique people, and I became friends with those people, and man, it's just and they still contact me and try to talk to me. You know what I mean? So that's awesome, man. The fight game, fight sport is a community.
The relationships that you earn while you're out there, the people that you train with, people that you fight against. You meet these people from the other teams. You get to talk to them sometimes, stuff like that. That's something that that's you just can't reach that everywhere. And sports that's so violent, but they have so much good relations for all these people. You know what I mean? You meet these good friends out there. That's it's crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
that we're trying to hurt each other, but yeah, we good, we cool. Yeah, come on, man, let's get a beer. Let's go and man, you hit me right there, boy. I ain't like that, boy. That shit hurt. It's like that. It's crazy, but in the world, in the fighting world, the relationships that you get out there because of the brutal, how brutal it is out there. It's crazy.
I mean, even the guy that we man right here, we went all the way to Indiana, and we were going to fight, and my opponent decided to back out because he just thought I was too darn big for what I was. And I was like, man, I weighed in. So things happen. But I gained a friend there from Chicago that...
Big guy.
Big dude. Like what, 6'6",
yes.
220 pounds. He fought on Glory Kickboxing. Well...
Yeah.
This is how stupid I am. You know what I mean? Smoked a joint with him, drinking a beer with him, eating pizza. You know what I mean? Just having, just relaxing, watching other people get beat up. Hey man, let's fight each other. Huh? Like, are you good, man? Like I said, nah, man. Let's do an exhibition match.
Real story.
And we decided to do an exhibition match, and we went out there. And you talking about it was freaking David and Goliath, man. I was the small dude, and he was freaking giant. And Riot Waller's his name.
Yep.
He was a cool dude, man. He really was.
He was. Yes.
I remember punching him. He kicked me. When he kicked me, it looked like he was trying to slap a fly. Like he barely even hit me, and I was like, all right, we got to amp this up a little bit. We got to show the crowd a little something. I threw a punch, and I clenched up. Hey, man, we can go a little harder. So I said, all right. He said, all right, we'll go a little harder. All right, cool. We pushed off, braked off. Next thing I know, he threw a leg kick so hard, about broke my leg. And I went 3 rounds with him to a point where my leg was black and blue. And the only punch I got off that joker was I caught his leg, I lifted it up. I don't even know how I jumped up as high as I did, but I jumped and hit him in the face, and we both fell. And when I fell, I didn't get back up. I said, I'm done. This ain't happening. It was, we're gonna say that's why we don't do drugs and we don't need a drink or anything. So, but that was the attitude that we had, and it was fun, but I gained a long friend for that because I cornered him in Atlanta, and when he came into town, and he still chats with me, and he's doing good and everything. So I fought really big names out there. Probably shouldn't have fought those really big names because like I told everybody, I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anyhow. That was my reputation. That was my thing. I'll fight you on a late week notice. I'll fight you on a today, tomorrow, where.
But it was good. That was an exhibition, so it didn't count.
Yeah, it didn't count. It didn't count.
So that one wasn't bad.
My leg sure did hell count though, because I had a boxing match right after that, and that was. I couldn't hardly move. It took me like 4 days to get back into the gym. So
yes.
But yeah, man, you the type of relationships you grow in the sport is awesome. And,
yes, it's awesome. It's awesome.
It ain't about money, man. It ain't about money. You don't make money in fighting. You don't. I know you'll see this stuff on TV. You'll see people say, "Oh man, I made $50K." Man, you got to get to UFC. You got to get a belt. Even UFC guys that are barely on the card are only making like $10,000.
It's harder than they think.
And so it really is. Yes. And so you do it because you love it. You do it because you're an athlete. You do it because as you get older, there's no other sports to play, and you gotta have you're a competitor, and you gotta feed that competition, and that's why you go out there and have fun, and at the same time get beat up. So it is what it is.
Yes, a lot of people don't know that. That some of those guys that's still at the lower level, that, yeah, they coming in their training, they're coming getting small paid, but after that, during the week, they're going to the job. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that's really putting in some hard work because they're going to their regular job. Then they're trying to find some 2, 3, 4 hours to go and train and go to the big fight, right back to work next week. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't see that.
Absolutely.
It's nice, it's fun, but it's harder than a lot of people think, and because you just don't go and get the money. It's a lot of work behind it. And if you get there, thank you, I made it. But it's a lot of work trying to get there.
It's working time, man. Working time because, you work. I remember working at 5 Star Nutrition. Worked at 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night, and got home, got dressed, met my man right here at the gym at like 10 o'clock, and we worked till 2 a.m. So, I mean...
And I hate it. I hate early morning, and I hate late at night, 4 o'clock. What? At what? For what? For what? Come on, man, because I got to work tomorrow, man. Oh, man. All right, man, I'll be there. I hate those times, but...
And it ain't even just the dedication of the fighters, man. It's the dedication of the coaches. Like, if you don't have a coach to help you and understand you and meet you halfway, then it's gonna be a long road. You know what I mean? I had, like, my couple of amateur fights, I had that, where I had to travel a lot just to have a coach because I didn't have the support I had around me. So I would travel to Statesboro and Savannah and good times. I'll never regret it because I met really good people there too. And hell, we're still friends. And I remember trying to fight their coach and their like in a kickboxing match just because he was undefeated and I was undefeated and we were both amateurs and we was like, I remember he saying, "Josh, I ain't fighting you, man. I don't want to fight you." I was like, "Man, it'd be fun. And, it ain't for us trying to hurt you. It'd be fun." He's like, "No, I ain't fighting you. I ain't losing. I don't want to lose." And that was, but it's all fun, man. I love it, and I miss it so much, and was planning on keep doing it. Was gonna try to do one more last year.
And I still think the same about that, because the same thing that brought you what you're saying now, you want to fight, one more, you just have to do it right. Because I feel the same thing that you feel. Went through an accident 3 years later at a different deployment place, and I started my fighting. So that's why when you ask that question about do you think I should, well, I can't say no because I went through something like that, and on the end of it, I end up fighting. The same thing. And what I'm talking about is what we're about to talk about is the motorcycle accident. I remember mine, down in Myrtle Beach. Young, at the time, 23-year-old came and hit me from the back. And I remember feeling funny. And next thing I remember waking up, somebody scrubbing rash out my back. Me, what the hell? What the fuck? That's what mine went through, but that's why 3 years later, then I end up fighting. And now you're going through that now because of the accident that you went through. Do you feel like to elaborate about that?
Well, yeah, I went through an accident. Before we get into that part, I was talking to my manager, and manager was like, "You should fight bare knuckle."
Yep.
It's like, man, you're a brawler. You've never been knocked out. You just like to bring the fight. And I was like, well, I got to have surgery first, and then we'll get to training. And so I think that November, the year before this accident, I had surgery, and I was like, okay, I can get back to training. I'm gonna start training again in March. In March, my arm be good. I'll be done with rehab and everything like that, and I'll be good to go. And a couple other things in March I had set. I had set a strongman competition, and I was just wanting to challenge my whole body. Some reason I just had the urge of just pushing myself for some odd reason. But March 5th changed my whole entire life. March 5th, I was at my buddy's house. About 6 o'clock at night, he got back from Daytona Bike Week, and we were over there talking, showing me all this cool stuff he got from there, and he pretty much he's like, "Hey man, you should power coach your forks." I was like, "Yeah, you're right, I should." And as we're taking everything down, taking everything off, I was like, "Oh man, let's do this next week. I gotta get ready for work tomorrow." And that's when I worked on the base as an avionics mechanic, and I was like, I gotta wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, dude. It's getting late. Let me go home and get some sleep.
All right.
And right before I went, he said, "Hey, bro, hey, let's go eat dinner. Brittany's fixing dinner down the road." And I said, "She's fixing steaks and all this stuff." I was like, "Man, that sounds good," but I didn't go because this girl had a crush on me, and she had a boyfriend, and me and her boyfriend was cool. And I didn't want to be disrespectful like that. I'm not the type of guy that'd be like, having somebody flirt with me as I'm, in there just eating their food and everything like that. So,
Right.
I bumped fists with my buddy leaving his house, and it's the only thing I remember. And I woke up in the hospital 4 days later. When I woke up from the hospital, I didn't know why I had a tube in my throat. Didn't know why I was hooked up to all these wires. And I tried to rip everything off. And I tried to rip the thing out of my throat. Damaged my throat to a point where you'll never see me smoke anything, or even can't get my voice loud enough to yell at anybody, really. Man. So when that happened, I woke up, I was like, man, I must have did something stupid at work. What the heck did I do? And so my mom's sitting there, and she still wouldn't tell me. My buddy that I left his house came in with a whole gift package. I had ramen noodles. I had candy. I had all kind of stuff. And I'm grateful that he brought me all that, because as I found out later on, I didn't have no teeth to eat any of the food that a hospital was giving me. So I woke up, he was there, my parents went out the room, and they said, "Hey, we'll be back. We're going to go get something to drink." They went to go get something to drink, and "Hey, Josh, you know what happened?" I said, "No, man, I don't know what happened." He said, "Let me show you." He showed me the pictures. And the next thing I know, I just started bawling out, crying, man. I broke out in tears. I was like, I don't know, I don't understand this. I don't know what happened. And never cried in front of a grown man in my life, in his arms, and just a good friend of mine. And so after that happened, he told me I got hit by a drunk driver. The kid had an alcohol level of 1.8, drugs on top of him, and
Wow.
I couldn't remember anything. And they announced me dead on sight because they found me up under the wheel because the guy ran over and crushed my head. And when he crushed my head, he tore the bone out of my teeth or out of my lip, and so I don't have no bone in my lip, and missing 8 front teeth. And as the story goes on, he I have a whole plate in my arm, and multiple surgeries later, and I'm just sitting in the hospital, and just kind of just taking everything in, and I in the Bible says forgive for the people that you need to forgive, and so I forgave that guy that hit me, but that only lasted a week after I found out he was out partying again.
Wow.
And so when that happened, the rage, the anger in my heart grew, and I took it out on everybody. I was in a hospital for 2 months, and when I got out, still going through depression, still going through all the emotions, all the medication I had to take, and just my family constantly being there, family there all the time at the hospital. My sister, my niece, my friends would come and see me. And when I got home, well, backtrack real quick, because when I was at rehab, trying to rebuild my strength and everything, a lady came in there, was supposed to be working on my speech, because when I woke up from the coma, I had a stroke and a heart attack, and it caused me to stutter. I'm really calm right now. I'm due to very good medication that I'm on right now that help me stay calm. I haven't stuttered as much. But she told me, what's the things you like doing? And I said, I did mixed martial arts. I rode mountain bikes, and I play softball. And so I'm going through this, and she said, well, I don't think you need to do MMA anymore. I said, well, I can understand that. I can understand that. I mean, I could train, but I'm not going to fight. I can understand that. She's like, I don't think you should mountain bike anymore. I was like, I don't understand that one, but okay. All right. And the last one that got me is, I don't think you should play softball no more.
Softball.
And she was like, I was like, why is that? She was talking to me. She said, well, my good friend plays softball, and he got hit in the head, and now he's paralyzed. And granted, guys, I have a lot of anger and a lot of issues going on with me at this moment. And the things I say, I do regret. But I think I said, if I'm not mistaken, your friend must have sucked balls.
Uh-huh.
And that made her mad. And I completely understand. And so... But that was me hearing those things, saying I shouldn't do this and shouldn't do that, hit me. But we got me out of that rehab, and I was at home, and I'm not the only one in my family that's going through some stuff. My mom is going through cancer, stage 4 cancer, and I remember I was up for like 18 hours, couldn't sleep. And I am a religious person, but I've never lived the life like I should. But that night is the first night I tried to talk to God. And I said, why am I alive? Why am I still here? Like, I don't understand it. Like, I can't do anything. I have no job. I live, my parents are taking care of me. And, God, why you put me through this? Like, why? Like, I don't think I should be here. Like, if I wasn't here, they wouldn't have to worry about me. So, that night, just kept asking. Decided to get on my phone, and I scrolling through TikTok, and all I seen was preachers, motivational quotes, inspirational people, and just talking. Heard the gospel, and they were talking in there, and I got tired of hearing it. And I was like, I don't want to hear this. Turn my phone off and turn the TV on, and I finally went to sleep. And that morning I woke up kind of with a different mindset. I stopped taking the pills for some reason I was taking, because the cons was suicidal thoughts. Because if I didn't have my parents hide all my guns and knives and everything, I don't know if I'd be here. So, that was a blessing itself, and I got rid of all those pills. I got rid of everything, and it took a week for me to get out of my system. And the next thing I know, I called my sister. Hey, I need you to take me to a pool. She was like, what? I need to practice to walk. I need to learn how to walk. I need to get off this cane. I don't want people to carry me. I don't want to walk in a wheelchair. I don't want to be disabled. And so yeah, she took me to the base, and I started walking in the pool. Started exercising, and pretty much that just changed my life right there. I feel like that night I reached out to my old preacher, and I met with a counselor, and I talked to her, and took a couple of counseling sessions, and it just changed my life. And I felt like I was just here for a purpose. I felt like God was testing my faith, trying to figure out if I was just going to cave in, if I was just going to completely give up. I've never gave up in my whole entire life out of everything I've done. And I wasn't going to start now. So that day, I changed my whole life. I started going to church again. I said I was going to be, I got baptized. And man, if I didn't find what I pretty much call myself, a reborn Christian, and I didn't work on that, and I didn't pursue that, I started getting more into the Bible, getting more into videos to watch. I wouldn't realize the stuff that God puts people through. Like some people he's put through people in the past where he's healed multiple people. But his follower, he didn't heal. It was John, and he didn't heal because he wanted him to have a different story. And one of his stories, one of the things he said is, I will be in pain for the rest of my life here on earth. But when I reach heaven, I will no longer be pain. And so that hits me. And so I realize, and I use that as, I will do everything I want to do here. Everything I want to do. I love playing slow pitch softball. I love teaching boxing. I love teaching kickboxing. I love working out. I love doing everything I used to do. Am I in pain? Yes. Absolutely. I'm in pain. I'm hurting right now. I hurt every day. But is that going to stop me? No. And that's not going to stop me because pain is just temporary here. So what got me through my whole accident is refining my faith.
Nice. I mean, there's people that's out there that really don't understand it when things in your life is taken away from you. And you have to fight for it to get them back. You know, and that's a big thing. You can't give up. You can't stop. You can't try to go backwards. You have to keep going, and that's just it. You have to keep going. You know, whatever you need to do, whatever solution that you come up with, whatever strength that you come up with, you have to find something. You know what I mean? So that is good that you find your faith and you lean on that and you keep going. Cause I know you. I know the hard head that you have, and you're not gonna stop. You know what I mean? Even though we keep trying to tell you, hey man, you need to slow down a little bit. You gotta take the time. You're gonna get there, man. You gotta do it right. You gotta do it right. You know, but I know you're gonna keep going, and I know it's not gonna stop you, man. You know what I mean? But that's it's awesome, man. I feel where you're coming from, but mine wasn't as bad as yours. You know, I had to deal with a bunch of road rash. You know, and my body was just sore and hurt and banged up real bad. You know, you had things that was broken in yours. So I know yours are worse than mine, but I have an idea that trying to get everything back so that you can work to your way to do the things that you need to do. Because I couldn't play softball, I couldn't play flag football, I couldn't play basketball no more, and I couldn't box at the time no more. So I understand, you know, trying to working your way back to the things. But the things I like better is the mentality that you kicked out and said, no, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep this going, and I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm not going to let this stop me. And you found the strength to keep moving. So now you was going through that while you were still recovering. So now after, I know you're still hurting. Things are still fixed. You still some things that you're still trying to get fixed. But now you can walk now. You don't need a cane. You know, you can do some lifting. You can do some things in the gym with the kickboxing and some boxing things right now. So what's carrying you now after to helping you mentally and physically? What's helping you now to get over this adversity that you had that you've been over, that you've gone through? What is helping you now through the adversity now?
What helping me now is the fact that I've touched so many people with my story, and with them knowing me and them knowing what I've been through, and they look up to me, and I don't want to let them down. I want them to know through the hardest times possible, when you're kicked lower than dirt, when you're buried under dirt, there's always room for growth. There's always able to push through it. There's always an inch that you can be better. Like if I'm under the dirt and I just knocked a little, like one of my fingers is coming out of that dirt. That's me succeeding in one way, because I'm breaking that layer. And so what helps me now, man, is me just keep doing what I'm doing, but at the same time is reaching out to people and telling them, like, look, I understand. Like if you're hurting, I understand if you have disabilities, I understand if you have limitations. But with every limitation, there's still some way you can do something. There's still some way you could push your body, heal your body, physically and mentally and spiritually be better. There's always a way you could do that. And so I just try to reach out to people and just motivate them. Like I want people to be the best version they could be. I don't take excuses anymore, because I don't give myself excuses. If I tell Well, I mean, yesterday was a prime example. I was at a batting cages, and first time since my back surgery, I have two titanium discs in my back in November, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to batting cages. I'm gonna play church league. In 2 weeks, I'm playing church league, and so I'm gonna go to batting cages. There's a couple of times I swung, and I like my back was hurting. Like I just felt like a really bad pain. And I said, I just can't do this. And it took me a while. I got out of the cage. I let the other people was hitting, and I had to just think to myself, it's like, what example am I putting with people that know what I'm going through right now, and me not hitting in my capability? I know I can hit, or I know that I can do better. I may have a little bit of pain, but I could do better. I'm not going to hurt myself even worse. I'm already hurt myself to the max I could hurt myself. I mean, the only thing I could possibly do is get an ice pack, later that night. Just put an ice pack and a heating pad. And so last night I decided to just suck it up, and I was hitting, and I did good, and I was happy about it. And then, even with me coaching boxing and kickboxing and me seeing these guys where they tell me they can't change this, they can't do this, can't do that. I'll spar with them, and I know I probably shouldn't. I should never get hit in the head again. Really,
Yes.
it's what the doctors tell me. And so I say, you know what? I'm gonna show you with my limitations that I can pick you apart, or I can show you your mistakes that can happen. Just think if somebody was 100%. Not just a crippled guy over here trying to box or kickbox, and so I just use this to my advantage, man. I use this as a strength. This is more so as a strength than a disadvantage. This is a way for me to reach out to people
Like that.
I've never been able to reach out to before, and this is for me. This whole accident has changed my whole entire life. It's changed my whole mindset. Yeah, I still have bits of anger and bits of rage in my heart, and I'm slowly working to get that out of my system. It's hard, it really is, but it's slowly getting there. But I've got to learn to love everybody, and I've got to learn to be kind to everybody, and I've learned to appreciate everybody, and I've learned to accept everybody for what they are or who they are. You know what I mean? I don't discriminate. I don't judge. My past was a couple of things. I was a little bit of a judgmental person. Like I'm not that person anymore. And I put that as me being the man I am today, and that's me walking in the way of the Lord, and me just trying to build my faith with them. And so I don't just preach to some of my students or anything. I just want them to be better. I don't push nothing on anybody, but I just want them to be better. I want them to I want to show them that they can push their body. If I could do what they're doing, they should be able to do it too.
That's what's up, man. That is it. That's inspiration from the top. I mean, that is totally awesome, man. Because I tell you, my mind's like, yeah, boy, that's a rough one to love, dude, man. Because I know I had to throw away the ticket. They had his name and his address and stuff. Yeah, I had to throw it away. Because I already knew what was going to happen when I got well. So I was like, yeah, let me throw this away so I can't get to that paper, know where he's at no more. But, nah, just kidding. But not. But that is awesome, to have that, that capability to forgive. You know what I mean? That is awesome. And that helped you. That's another strength, that you do have. You know what I mean? That is awesome. And, man, it is awesome to see that you're doing well. You know what I mean? Because, man, it broke me up when somebody told me about it. I'm like, whoa, what? Huh? And when you sent those pics, man, I'm like, oh no, oh man, but it's very good to see that you're doing well. I still will say, do it right. I will keep bothering with that. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying do it right. Everything is going to heal and everything will be straight, man. And as long as you keep going, everything will be good. And for anyone that's out there that's watching this, you know the same thing. Don't stop. You find a way. You find strength somewhere. Everybody has something, whether it's a person, whether it's God, whether it's meditation, whatever that you can look into to help you out. Then you find that strength and you keep going. That's it. Keep going. You know what I mean? This life is not going to stop. Time's not going to stop. And you can't either. You have to keep going. You know what I mean? So, man, I think it's been a very, very great day, man. How can they find you on Facebook?
Yeah, y'all. If y'all want to follow me, man, y'all go to just Josh Millwood. Look me up on Facebook. My Instagram, Josh Millwood MMA. You'll see some of the pictures I post. I post stuff that I've overcame along this journey of mine. That my main goal is March 5th was the accident. Maybe a week, 2 weeks afterwards, I want to run a 5K because my doctor said I'd never be able to run again. So I'm always been the guy to defeat the odds. I was always definitely the guy that pisses off all the doctors. So that being said, y'all can follow me on there because that's where I'll be posting a lot of my pictures and a lot of my updates on everything. Videos of me lifting, because like I said, I don't want to I'm not just doing this to show off. I'm not doing this to say I could do this and you can't. I'm doing this to show y'all that even with being brought down to a point where I was even able to lift 10 pounds, I wasn't even able to use my hands. I wasn't even able to use my arm. With picking up anything, that you're able to overcome anything that you put your mind to it, you put your soul to it, you put the work into it. There's anything you can overcome, and
like that.
And this is why I'm doing the things I do. Is I'm not picking up 70-pound dumbbells, the chest press just for myself. This is for y'all, showing that, hey, Josh went through all this and he's had all these surgeries and he's able to do that. Oh, he's showing off. No, I ain't showing off. I want to motivate and inspire y'all to be able to push y'all to y'all's best of y'all's ability.
And that's what it is. And that's what it's all about, man. So, man, out there, y'all keep looking, keep going. So, hey, man, it's a very good talk. Very good talk,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
And we will seeing you next time on The Fight Within the Fight. How did you get over your adversity? You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. So, we'll see you on the next time.